Hi, happy Friday. So this is Feature Friday, as usual. Last week I had an awesome guest talking to us about the smart vine wine, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on in the conversation. But today I'm going to be talking about glyphosate. Um, and for those of you that follow me and in this little hub of just a few people, you may think that it's like I'm yammering on and on about this word glyphosate, and yet I have discovered three people this week that were in positions that I thought they would know what glyphosate is, and they did not. So that makes me think that it's not as widely known as it should be. So, first of all, I want to tell you a little story. This morning, I was so excited. Woke up. It was not raining, so I was pretty stoked that I was going to get to go for a run. Went for a run, doing my walk home as a cool down. I thought, you know what? I'm going to stop by Spencer's, which is our local grocery store, and I'm going to ask how many people know what glyphosate is. I figured I would ask 10 people. I was going to do a little mini survey. Well, I walked in and, of course, forgot that it was only 7 o'clock in the morning, so most people don't shop at 7 in the morning. So there was nobody in the store. So I asked for the manager, and Dale came out, and I asked Dale, how many items in your store are glyphosate free? And he said, glypho what? And I said, okay, well, I should have started there. Do you know what glyphosate is, Dale? And he said, no, I've never heard of it before. And I said, okay, well, have you heard of Roundup? And he said, oh, yeah, I have some of that in my garage. Yeah, don't we all? Well, glyphosate is the compound, the herbicide in Roundup. So essentially, you could say that they're one and the same. Roundup is just the company, and they use glyphosate as the herbicide that kills the weeds. So that's the connection. So, I mean, you could say Roundup, but to be more technical, you want to say glyphosate. Get people educated about what it is and what it does. Okay, so what does it do? Why is glyphosate so harmful to humans? Well, we got to go back. We got to go back a little bit. So glyphosate has been around since the 70s. It was actually created by a scientist who worked for Monsanto, and it was created. They found that this plants have this pathway called the chicamate pathway, and glyphosate intersects that. And what that does is it kills off the plant. Once that pathway is intercepted, it kills off the plant. So it was, hey Rick, so it was designed to kill the weeds. Now you can imagine that Big Ag was super, super excited about this because they had all of these fields that they needed to do weed control on, and now this product was going to be a godsend. But it also required them to use a different kind of seed, because you can imagine that a plant is a plant, right? So this chicamate pathway, if it's intersected in a weed, it could be intersected in corn or wheat or oats. So they were able to genetically modify the seeds so that they were not affected by the glyphosate. So now you have all of these fields producing 90% of the grains, and they are genetically modified so that glyphosate, this chemical, does not affect them. It only affects the weeds. So still, some people may say, well, okay, we get that, but is a little isn't too bad, right? Well, that's what the EPA up until 2019 kept saying. They kept saying, oh, it doesn't cause cancer, even though many, many, many studies showed the opposite. So finally, in 2019, they said, okay, yeah, you're right. It's a carcinogen. It does cause cancer. But In small dosages, it's okay. So the EPA continues to allow big ag companies to use glyphosate on their fields because the EPA has said a small amount is okay. But is a small amount okay? Really? Well, what does it do? So we know now that it's designed to intercept the bacteria, right? Well, guess what our gut is made up of? Millions and millions of molecules that make up the microbiome is bacteria. In fact, 90% of it is in our gut. And it affects our immunity, it affects our mental acuity. It is responsible for when we have an imbalance in our gut, it's responsible for diseases from cancer to diabetes to anything gut related. And this is even small amounts that are found in foods. I mean, that right there should make you so angry because we are all exposed to it. So even if you try to eat all organic, if you eat organic, non-GMO, you're still exposed to it. How? Because it's in our air, it's in our water, it's in our if you take the dog to the park, the dog is exposed to it, the kids are exposed to it. The kids are really, really susceptible to it because there's a lot of snack foods that have glyphosate in it. Not to mention if you take them to the school or the park to play. What do they use all the time to keep down weeds? It's Roundup, right? Okay, so we're all at risk, but especially our kids are at risk. So what can we do about it? Well, first of all, become an ingredient snob and don't accept anything less because what you're putting in your body really matters. If what you're putting in your body disrupts your gut and affects your immunity and sets you up for all of these different kinds of diseases, well, yeah, then it matters. So ask the questions, become an ingredient snob. There's nothing wrong with that. And then go to the Detox Project. Look it up, Google it, the Detox Project. They're an organization that is doing amazing work in this arena. And they're really trying to educate the public as to what glyphosate is, why it's so important to avoid it, and how we can by making good choices. So there's a list of all of the foods that you can buy that are certified glyphosate free. So now some of you remember when I did the interview with Alicia Taff from Rockfront Ranch. She went through the trouble to get her honey tested to make sure that it was glyphosate free. So it says right on there, glyphosate, no glyphosate. So it's certified glyphosate free. My friend Christine, so she does Smart Vine Wine, the only wine in the United States for sure. On the Detox Project, I saw that there was a couple of wines from Argentina that are also glyphosate free, but this is the one that we can get. And she went through the trouble of finding the vineyards that were free of glyphosate and producing a wine that is glyphosate free, and it's actually on there, glyphosate residue free. It is certified. So okay, so those are two things that we can do to make sure that we stay away from glyphosate. But it's impossible to stay away 100%. So in that case, what you need to do is introduce a supplement that will remove glyphosate from your body. So Biomedic from Purium is the only supplement on the market, according to the Detox Project and according to any of the research that I have done, that is certified to remove glyphosate. 74% of the glyphosate is removed in 6 weeks. Now this is as we've already seen, you cannot avoid it. And even in small amounts, it's harmful. So this should be in everybody's routine, daily routine. Now, if you have not ordered from Purium from me before, you're going to need a discount code because I want you to get a maximum savings. So DM me if you're interested in getting it. DM me and I will give you that code. And then when you're there, make sure that you set up your smart order because this is so important to the owners of the company and the formulator. They have given us an incentive. If we include it in a smart order, which is one of those kind of like Amazon where it's a regular occurrence, they will give you 1 month free after 3. So if it's in your smart order and it will automatically ship on the 4th month, it'll ship for free and you won't be charged for it. So that's quite amazing right there. So make sure that you take advantage of that. And I appreciate everybody that has joined. I was really kind of nervous about this topic, not because I can't get passionate about it, but mostly because I can get passionate about it. I can be crazy. So anyway, I appreciate that you guys are here. And if you have any mamas that are pregnant, make sure that you talk to them about glyphosate. If you have any families that have children, make sure you talk to them about glyphosate and educate them about why it is so important that we address it. We talk a lot about our ultimate lifestyle transformation, and some that are on the call today have done it, and some have done it and then stopped doing it. And that's okay. Everybody does their own thing, and everybody takes control of their nutrition in the way that they feel they should. And that's the way it should be. Everybody individually has control of it, right? But the thing that everybody needs, I don't care what kind of diet you have, is Biomedic. You have to have this in your diet. Children, we have a product called Epigenius Kids. It's a shake that has the Biomedic in it, but you don't have to get them that. You can put this in any kind of smoothie or any kind of drink, anything. It's okay for kids to have Biomedic. When a mom is pregnant, glyphosate is something that the unborn, the embryo could be exposed to, and most certainly is exposed to. The baby growing inside you is. So having the moms on a protocol of Biomedic on a daily basis is really, really important. So pass that along. And is there any questions? This is the first time that I actually had some time to look and see if we had any questions that I could answer. Yes, you can open up the capsules and add them to the smoothies. Yes. Knowledge is the beginning of power, and we don't know what we don't know. Yes, Rick, that is so true. So thank you for saying that. Marin, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. I think it's really important that you little mamas like you, Marin, know this and can take action for your kids. The Epigenius shake for the kids is awesome. It really, really is. So, you're not going to give them something that tastes lousy anyway, just to protect them, but you're protecting them, and it's going to be something that they're going to really, really like. Biomedic does not taste like anything at all. In fact, your picky eater will not even know that you put it in anything. So you can put it in juice, you can put it in a smoothie. Just open up the capsule. It's in one of those cellulose capsules. Open up the capsule and put it in. Is it counterproductive to take Biomedic and eat junk? Well, I wouldn't say it's counterproductive, Dawn. I would still say that you are protecting yourself. You are what you eat, but you can't control what people's choices are. And sometimes people are still going to choose what they're going to choose. But it's the same thing. If you have a crappy diet and you take a really good vitamin C and you take some of these immunity, are you still going to protect your and support your immune system? Absolutely. You are degrading it because you're, taking in some of these other things, but it's going to be better than not. So that's what I would say about that. Okay. Is that it? I love this. I love that we had an opportunity to chit chat on the live. The people that see it on the replay, they're gonna think that I'm crazy because they won't see all the comments. But anyway, when you see this posted as my live, please tag people that may not have been here to see this so that they have the information too. And if you're seeing this as a replay, please put in replay and tell me what you think. Okay, so the website is the Detox Project. So just Google Detox Project. And then also the other one that I'm not sure I mentioned, but EWG.org. So it stands for environmental, what was it? Environmental, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, and now I can't find where I wrote it down. Anyway, it's EWG, Environmental Working Group. That's what it is, Environmental Working Group. So they're an agency also that educates us. In fact, Marin, you might really like this because it lists beauty products, cleaning products, food, and it rates them from 1 to 10. 1 being, okay, you can have this and it doesn't have anything bad. There's no toxins, all the way to 10. And what's interesting is some of the beauty products are some of the worst offenders. And also some of the organic foods are some of the worst offenders. So it's really interesting. So anyway, knowledge is power. Go on those 2 websites, figure out, what you can and can't eat or shouldn't eat, but definitely get Biomedic in your kids, your family's lives. All right. Well, that's it for now. Thank you for all the good questions, and thank you for listening. And I'll see you. Oh, I will see you on Monday. Monday, I have a great Mind Flow Monday, because remember we changed it. Mind Flow Monday guest. Her name is Courtney Riddle, and she is the owner of Wildwear. It's a new clothing line. She's a single parent that lives in San Luis Obispo. She's amazing. I just love her, and you're going to love her too. So hopefully you tune in. I think we're scheduled for 2:00 on Monday with Courtney Riddle. All right. See y'all. Oh, okay.